So, good day everybody. You may have noticed I'm not in my apartment for once. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. I had a bit of a problem with the lock on my mailbox, and since it's not a Canada Post lock, it's actually owned by the building, I need to replace it myself. I could spend a few $100s getting a locksmith out there, but you know, it's not that difficult. I know how to do it myself. So right now, we're on the road on the way to Rona to pick up a new lock. I've got the extra one in my pocket, and we're gonna put in a new lock today. So I know I said we were going to Rona, but I saw something on the way and I thought, you know what, this is even better. So instead of Rona, we're going to Canadian Tire. Alright, she's about 2 minutes later, and turns out they don't stock the kind of lock that I need. So we're going to Rona after all. And just like that, we have arrived at Rona. Alright, so we are back after a little bit of a shopping trip. And I did go somewhere else other than Rona. We're just in the parking lot outside the Superstore at Signal Hill, because I figured, you know what, I'm out anyway, might as well get a few groceries. Not a whole lot. Let's look what we got. Bag disposable razors, because I ran out of disposable razors and I'm getting very scruffy. Some peppermint tea, because I am completely out of peppermint tea. It's delicious and it was on discount. A bag of chips, because I'm going to a friend's place tonight and we were thinking about making nachos. A bunch of peach gummies, because I also have a gluten intolerant friend and I can't remember if there's gluten in corn chips. I don't think there is, but I also know they happen to like gummy stuff, so that's good. The bag that everything came in, because I forgot the Superstore doesn't actually give you bags when you buy your stuff. The lock. We're gonna head home now, and we're gonna take this lock, and we are gonna try and put it in place in the house. Not the house, the mailbox, that's the one. So we're back in my apartment, and this is what the kit comes with. So, obviously, a pair of keys. Lock itself, and it's pretty sturdy. I'm a little concerned it won't fit because it's the same size, but this one has threads and the old one didn't, so we might need to modify the hole a little bit. We have two different kinds of lock mechanisms, so we're using this one because it's not a very big spot we're working in. Nut to hold everything together, and the screw to hold everything together on the back. So to put this thing in, we're going to need a common or Phillips screwdriver. That's slotted or star for those who aren't too mechanically inclined. And an adjustable wrench, because I don't think I have a non-adjustable big enough to work with this thing. So I'm going to grab my tools and I will see you at the mailbox. Okay, so we're here at the mailbox. And that's the hole that we gotta put this thing in. You see it's flat on the sides. That's it, the whole thing doesn't spin when you try to unlock it, or else it wouldn't be a very good lock, would it? So, let's try and put this in, and yeah, we're getting surprisingly not what I expected. The problem isn't that the threads are too wide, it's actually the hole's too narrow. But, you know, it's pretty close. I'm gonna see if I got a file, and we're gonna try and, you know, widen this hole a little bit. Okay, so it turns out that I actually need more tools than I have. I don't actually have a rasp or a file or anything. So I'm gonna go shopping, or I'm gonna talk to some of my friends, see if they've got it. But I know you came here to see me put in a lock, so that's what we're gonna do. What we have here is the lock that I borrowed from my laundry cabinet. Unfortunately, it's way too long, so it's not going to fit in the mailbox anyway. But the good news is we can put it back in here. So what we're going to do, take the hair out of my mouth. Yeah. So we take the lock, pop it in the hole. Now you notice this hole is actually round, but this isn't really a high security lock, so it's not a huge issue. You take the nut, and just tighten that sucker back on there. That's where adjustable wrench comes in handy. Now, in most locks it's not important, but for this one I kind of want it to be vertical. So I actually need to loosen this a little bit. And to make sure the whole thing is vertical. Yeah, sticking the key in the other side, or if you're like me, just being very careful when you're tightening it. And it doesn't need to be super tight. After all, this is wood, so that's going to hold. Make sure the lock is in the locked position. You do that, and using the key. Okay, so it's in the locked position. Now we take this thing, and it's got a little square hole there that goes over top this square bit here. Hold it in place, and then put the screw on. Lovely. Screwdriver, tighten that on, and there you go. One lock for the laundry cabinet. Ah, I see. Okay, so what's happening here is that the flange is actually too long, so we need to actually have the lock be rotated. Okay, so we'll loosen that off, and I'm actually gonna close it until it's in the right position there. Okay, so right about there is where we want it. So it's closed enough that it'll latch, but not so far. There we go. So that's secure. You have to put it at an angle because the tab's too long. Live and learn. And there we go. One replaced lock. So while you're still here, I thought I'd explain just a little bit about what happened with the original lock. But in order to do that, you need to kind of know how locks work. So what I have here is a training lock. So this is used by locksmiths to show them just how the insides of a lock work. So what we have here is kind of the main cylinder, and that's where the key goes. And on top, let's see how close I can get, we have these things here. These are the tumblers. These little pins that prevent the cylinder from turning. And you can see they're at all different heights. So the way it works is there's actually two pins. There's the ones you see there, and there's ones that kind of go down inside the cylinder. And as it is, they're not in line. So the cylinder cannot turn. But you take the key. Let's just put the key in place here. Hard to do this one-handed. So you've got the key, and if you watch the pins, they kind of all line up now. And that means that the cylinder is now free to turn. In some locks, you can actually put different length pins into the locks. And it turns out that I actually had one of those without even knowing it. So, this is the lock that I had. This is the one I took out. And you can see, these are the holes where the pins are supposed to go. The problem is that the dude installed it upside down. So normally that'd be okay because there's actually a little piece of metal that goes on top of these things that prevents all the pins from falling out. but through use and wear and tear and all the little vibrations of being checked every couple of days, that little plate actually fell off, and the pins shuffled around. So the lock effectively rekeyed itself. The key that I had wouldn't work because the pins were in a different position. So the lock technically still worked fine, but I didn't have the key for it anymore. Kind of weird that way. Luckily, I contacted Canada Post, and when they had the entire mailbox open, I actually got in the back and I could take the nut off. And then it's still locked, but, well, you take the nut off, and you can just take the latch off. It's still locked, but it's not locked to anything. Unfortunately, when I took it out, every single one of those tumblers fell out, and they are now all over the place. You can see the cylinders actually coming out as well. So, I need to find a file. I need to find the bits to finish the job. When I do, I'll probably post a second part to this video. But for now, I hope you learned something. And I guess I will see you all in the next video.